Just gave it to you.
Yeah, yeah, it's working. Thank you. So what I would like us to start with is me and my audience, we noticed some changes in the dashboard when it comes to Helium 10. And we would like to know the shortest way to find, let's call it a hidden product. So we all know that there are those saturated products everyone is selling, and you need like tons of money to advertise and so on. But on the other side, there are some hidden products where we can find and sell online. So, and I'm sure Helium 10 is the best in the field to find these products. So please, if you can guide us through how can we find these products. But as I said, first we need like a small tour in the new dashboard for Helium 10.
For sure. So I know that a lot of the common conversation that typically is taken with product research is, I guess, hidden is more so about your perception of opportunity, really, because I think the common argument that's usually brought up is, well, if I'm looking at the same results as everybody else is, how is that like special to me, right? And it's really all about not judging a book by its cover initially. Like when you look at the research, not just instantly saying yes or no, but actually taking the time to dive deeper and to see where there might be some really easy opportunity for you to capitalize on specific keywords that will drive sales. Because of course, that's the only way you can drive sales is through keywords, and it's more specifically by showing up on page 1 for those keywords and looking at kind of both opportunities of finding some pretty unique keywords that we can definitely capitalize on, as well as finding or seeing for those specific unique keywords, how easy is it going to be, or how tough is it going to be for us to get on page 1 of Amazon for that specific keyword. So it's kind of
that's right.
So we'll kind of dive deep into that. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So you can see my screen all okay? You see
yeah, I can see it.
Awesome. So we're going to go into Black Box. And so how familiar would you say you are with Black Box?
I have used it and explained it to the audience before.
Okay, cool. So then when you say that you were looking at some changes in the dashboard, are there any specific tools that you notice changes and you're like, oh, okay, I need some explanations on that?
Yeah, the last time I think I shared video with the audience, it was like 6 months ago. And we have noticed like huge changes in the dashboard. If you can open the main dashboard, can we see it, please?
Okay, for sure.
So as example, now it doesn't look like this in our side, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but if we can't, there is that tool for the reverse engineering thing. I think it's called
Cerebro.
Yeah, exactly. That one is cool for us, and we also need to know how can we target a niche, not only a single product. If you know what I'm like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I remember like we were doing it before, but now it's a bit complicated for us. So
okay, for sure. We can definitely dive into that. I think I get where you're moving towards. All right. So first, we're gonna go, because we need to find some rough idea of opportunity before we dive into Cerebro. We do need to get started with Black Box first, because that is our Amazon product research tool.
Yeah,
so
can you just let me leave voice notes here, please, in Arabic, so my audience later on can catch up with me. Just it's like 30-second note, please, if you can, if I can do that. So
for what?
So later on my audience can know what we are talking about.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It will be only 30 seconds in Arabic. هلا اول شيء حنشتغل على اول اداه اللي هي البلاك بوكس. هاي الاداه اللي هي حتسمح لنا نشوف فكره عامه عن المنتج. Okay, you can go on. Sorry.
All right, no worries. If you need to do that, feel free to interrupt. No need to apologize. Totally okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna get started in Black Box, and so right now we're just trying to find a surface level of opportunity, right? So we're going to put in, maybe I want to at least making $10,000 in revenue on Amazon, because I want to make sure that has some sort of demand, right?
Yeah.
For a price point, I'll put probably between, let's do $20 to $40, just because if we're using the rule, or if we're going to look at it from a cost perspective, if it costs $20 to $40, then that means our cost of goods sold will typically be between 25 to 33% of that cost. So it's not going to be too high for us when we're looking to order 500 units or 1,000 units or anything like that.
Yeah.
We're also going to put review count max of 500, just because we don't want to have a huge barrier of entry of, okay, if I'm doing over $10,000 in revenue, I need to have 2,000 reviews. We don't want anything like that. So knowing that it's low reviews means that the niche is relatively early compared to some of the more major markets on Amazon, as well as showing that there aren't any major players yet within this niche, or ideally wouldn't be.
Yeah, so we are running out away from the competition.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go one step further with our review rating. We want to see where we have opportunity with the specific product. So we're going to look at review rating that only has 4.0 or below, because we're going to want to see, all right, it shows that they're just barely getting a 4-star, or they're even lower than that. So that's what's really nice to be able to capitalize on here, is knowing that if we can improve some basic stuff, maybe it's within our listing, maybe it's explanation, maybe it's the product, things of that nature, we can go ahead and differentiate our product enough to really stand out from the competition.
Yeah, so we are using the review here in our advantage to find the weakness point, you can say, in someone listings where we can take some share of the sales. Absolutely.
And because we're in a US market, there is going to be a lot of resellers of like random products. So we're going to want to put max sellers 3, so that way we don't see any retail arbitrage listing or wholesale listings that has like 20 or 30 sellers on there.
Okay.
And then for variation count, we're going to put max of 1, because we don't want to see products that have variations of like 10 different products. We want to see singular products that by itself is doing over $10,000 in revenue, because that's what we're trying to go after here, is one product, not like a whole collection initially.
Yeah, I got you.
And then here's the big kicker, is what we're going to look at is the number of images. We're going to put max of 5, because what it shows us, or it's a really good estimate to know if a listing is unoptimized or not. What this is going to be able to show us is that, hey, these are some big players in this a specific niche that maybe they aren't as, not 30, maybe they aren't as optimized as they should be, but they're still doing well, meaning that if we just simply take the act of going through our typical Helium 10 process of optimizing our listing to its fullest, we can automatically have a upper hand on the competition with this strategy.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to go ahead and click on search. We're probably going to see a lot of products. Yeah, we're going to see over 200. So let's boil it down to a category here. So is there any specific category that you're feeling good about?
Yeah, we have always worked with the baby categories, and I myself, I work in the baby categories. But okay, is there some kind of categories you think that maybe it's better to go with these categories other than other categories?
Or better I would say the more popular, or categories that have larger, I guess, larger number of consumers, and as well as a more willingness to spend money, is definitely going to be baby. Beauty and personal care is number 2. And this is, I guess, not in any specific order. I'm just saying the general top 5 would be baby, beauty, and personal care. Definitely would be also health and household. Electronics can be helpful, but that typically comes with a little bit more of compliance, and typically it has a higher price point. So if you have more money, you can make a killing in electronics. But if you're just looking to launch your first product, I wouldn't necessarily do electronics. But health to household, home and kitchen and dining, I would say those are pretty big as well. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Just to be sure, we are talking here if we are sourcing from Alibaba, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So let's do baby. Let's see what we got here in the baby category. Let's click on search. So we look like we got a little too specific with our filters here, which is, of course, you're going to see that sometimes, right? Here we have our baby category. We only have one product found here.
Yeah.
So we need to loosen up, I guess, our review rating. So maybe let's take away the review rating, click on search. And that's the beauty of Amazon or Helium 10 is that you can kind of work with the filters to see if it works, what doesn't work, and kind of go from there. Here, we're definitely going to want to stay away from consumables, in my opinion. We want to let's just look at general products where we can find specific opportunity. So we have a baby swaddle. Okay, that's pretty decent. We have only has one image. Okay, but it's really old. We see that this listing has been there for a really long time. So that's immediately something that is a red flag for me. If I see a product listing that has a really old listing, like over 2 years, I would say like over 24 months, that's a red flag for me because it shows that they, even though they have a not that great of a listing, I can tell they only have one image. They've been there for so long that I probably just don't even want to mess within that niche to begin with. So let's see what other products we have here. Okay, I see we have a stroller travel bag. It's only been there 11 months, only has 5 images. It's $24.99. It's doing just over $10,000 per month. Only has 17 reviews. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out this listing. We're gonna click on it. We're gonna check out this listing. Let's look at the images here. It's not too bad.
Yeah,
definitely could be improved. What do you think?
Since I know and since I work in this niche, I know that Cybex is a known brand, you know. So is that gonna be a red flag also for us, or should we go for it?
I think that is right now we're looking kind of not away from, we're looking just specifically like towards a product idea, right? Because Cybex, yes, sure, they might be a known brand, but clearly they aren't capitalizing on it because they're not putting it into their title. Hey, this is a Cybex.
Okay.
This is a Cybex baby stroller travel bag, right? Like they're rebranding this. But right now we're just trying to get an idea of, all right.
Yeah, I got you.
We can see that the listing isn't that established, right? They're clearly not capitalizing on their product title. They're clearly not doing the best with their bullet points. And so while Cybex may have talent, there's a saying that says hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And that's kind of the approach we're taking here is, hey, they might be a talented brand, but clearly they're not working hard. And if we work harder than them, we can outcompete them. So we're gonna go ahead and see this product. We're looking at stroller travel bag. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this ASIN here. And now what I want to see is what are some of the competitors with this product, right? And this is kind of like going through the whole process, but after we get some of our competitors, we can go into Cerebro and kind of plug these this data in. So first we're going to click on search. And this is still within black box, but what I am more specifically paying attention to is I want to pay attention to some of the ones that are more similar with the product. So this is a stroller travel bag. I see I have one here, but I'm going to look at those that have a high P index, because the P index essentially just means that it is ranking for the same top keywords that this product is ranking for, or is similar keywords that this product is ranking for. I typically, and this is more of an arbitrary number, but I typically look at those that have a P index of 5 and above. So since we have, I think we have a good couple here. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna download the CSV file here. I'm gonna open it up, bring it on over here. So right now I'm just bringing the Excel file over. I'm going to copy maybe like my first 5 or so. I'm going to copy that. Go back to my tools, and I'm going to go into Cerebro, where we're going to do a reverse product.
So just to summarize, you just took the first 5 products, and now we are going to Cerebro to find what keywords working for these products, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure to include this one too. So I'm going to copy that one, plug that in. And right now I'm going to click on get keywords. So like you said, right now we're just trying to find some of the top keywords, but here we're going to try to find keywords where we may have opportunity, and this is where we can kind of dive deeper into the process here. So we're going to look right off the bat. We have around almost 13,000 keywords. We really need to boil this down because there's frankly too many keywords here. And we want to boil it down to like roughly like our top 20-ish keywords. So we're going to start step by step. We're going to look at organic keywords. We're going to apply the filter, see how much that boils it down to. All right, boils it down from 13,000 to around 7,500. Okay, not a problem. We're going to look at our search volume that has at least 300. We're going to apply that filter, see how much that boils it down. Okay, we went from 7,600 to 2,600. Not too bad. We're making progress. But now here's where I really want to go above and beyond. So I'm going to go ahead and utilize my competitor, or where is it? Ranking competitor count, which essentially just means out of my 6 ASINs I have in there, how many of these keywords, or for the keywords that are going to show me, how many for these keywords are the competitors ranking or indexed for on Amazon? I want to make sure that the majority of my competitors are ranking for the keywords that are showing up for on Amazon. So I'm going to put a minimum of 4, meaning I want them to show up on Amazon search results. At least 4 of these products show up for a keyword, because it shows me that this is a popular keyword that's commonly used across all of these top products.
Yeah, just to make sure that I understand you very well. Now, when we put 4 here, that means I need at least 4 competitors who are ranking for this keyword, right?
Yes, because right now we have 6 ASINs in our Cerebro right here. So you always want to go the majority of. So if I put in, let's say I put in 8 or 9, I would use 5. If I put in only 3, I would use 3 or 4, I would put 2. I always want to go at least half or more of my ASINs that I put in there. I want to make sure that they are ranking for these specific keywords.
Yeah. Okay, great.
And a competitor rank, because ranking just means that their index means that they could show up on page 5, they could show up on page 1, page 3, whatever it is. So I want to make sure that the average for these keywords is at least on the first page. And there's roughly around 30 organic positions on the first page. So we're going to do 1 through 30 for our competitor rank average.
So we're gonna, from 1 to 30. Okay.
Yeah. So to quickly summarize, we're going to look at products that have organic, that are completely organic, and that have at least 300 search volume, and that at least out of the keywords that at least 4 of the competitors or ASINs that we've entered in are indexed for that keyword, and that 4 of those keywords that they're indexed for, on average, they show up on the first page for those keywords.
Okay.
So it's going to boil it down, and we get down to 40 keywords here. So we can see that there's definitely a lot of brand recognition with GB Pocket Stroller Bag. We see a ton of brand recognition here. So with that, I'm going to take away the GB Pocket brand name and see how much we're left with. So I'm going to take away, oops, that's phrase containing. I'm going to exclude phrases containing GB. We're going to apply that filter. All right, we're left with 18 keywords here, or 17. So we're going to look at these specific keywords. Let me open it up here. We're going to sort by search volume. All right, so we're going to look at, let's sort by search volume there. Okay. So what we're looking at here is we want to see generally what's the search volume trend. We see that it's relatively flat, like compared to these are increasing a lot, these are decreasing a little bit, but the search volume is pretty positive here. But we can, when I'm looking at common words, what am I looking at for? Because this is a stroller travel bag, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking for the use case. I'm looking at word frequency. And this is, again, where we get into perception of hidden products, is really about how do you look at the opportunity and analyze it. So word frequency, I see stroller, I see bag, I see travel, that's pretty common. I see airplane. Okay. So that seems like that's a common use case for these specific keywords, right?
Yeah.
So I see stroller bag for airplane. That's the number 2 keyword there. That's pretty interesting. We have gate check stroller bag. That's also like an airport. So I would consider that as another like airplane specific type of keyword. I see stroller check bag for airplane. Okay, so I'm seeing some pretty consistent keywords that have to do with airplane or airplane travel. And so if I just search stroller bag. I'm seeing just general stroller bags, and I don't see anything that talks about airplane. Or I see this one, well, I guess in terms of organic keywords. Right now, this is a sponsored result. Organic keywords, I'm trying to see, let's run X-ray and look at just stroller bag. Let's see how many actually says airplane. So we're going to do title keyword search, and we're going to do airplane. So apply the filter here. We're going to take away sponsored results. So only 7 of the top 22 products that we're looking at here have anything to do with airplane. So that's a little bit more of a specific niche within the stroller bag category that we can look at diving into here. Going one step further with the airplane keywords here. So if I'm looking at this one, where's the other airplane one? This one, and this one right here. I'm trying to see, all right, these are pretty big, these are pretty decent keywords here. I can see that the competing products for stroller bag for airplane only has 120 competing products, compared to stroller bag has over 1,000 competing products. There's a big difference. That's a pretty big difference. And I think you and I would agree that a difference of almost around like 900 search volume is worth having less than 1/10 of the competition for that specific keyword.
I totally agree with you. Yeah.
And then you can even see from the sponsored ASINs, you have almost 3 times the competition, or yeah, you almost have over 2 times the competition when it comes to advertising for this specific keyword for a stroller bag than you do for a stroller bag for airplane, right?
Yeah.
And so that's really interesting to see. And what I also want to see here is I see that at least 4 competitors are ranking for it. The average score that they're doing is around 6.4 that we're giving them on Helium 10. And the average rank that they are is bottom of page 1, right? For this specific keyword, or at least generally for the keywords that we're looking at, is bottom of page 1, that's bottom page 1, bottom third of page 1, bottom of page 1. So now what do I want to look at that's going to help me get an understanding of, okay, maybe I want to target specific, or I want to make a product that's specifically for airplane travel, that's for stroller bag. And I want to make it really obvious that this is not for travel. Like if I'm going on a train or I'm going on a car trip or a road trip, this is for airplanes. So I'm kind of going deeper in the sub niche of hidden product opportunity of not only am I looking at stroller travel bags, but I'm looking specifically of creating a stroller travel bag that's meant for airplanes. So when I'm looking at these keywords, I'm looking at, okay, what's the opportunity here? I can get an idea of the keyword sales here. And that's what's really interesting here. And that's a new feature that we have in Cerebro and in Magnet, I believe, that we see a big difference between the search volume here. Stroller bag has higher search volume. So you would assume that it has higher sales, but it doesn't. Stroller bag for airplane actually has higher sales. So we can see there that this keyword actually leads to higher conversions, or at least the buyers that are searching for this keywords have higher buyer intent to actually purchase a product based on versus just a general keyword like stroller bag. So that's really interesting for us to see, is that, hey, there's definitely some promising materials here when it comes to keyword sales.
Yeah, this is so good, to be honest. This is the first time I go in details into this, so I think it will be so helpful for us. Yeah,
absolutely, I would agree. And then the final thing I want to talk about here is title density. If we're just looking at these keywords of stroller bag for airplane, stroller travel bag, essentially our top 3 keywords, title density is 12, 6, 20. So title density, what that essentially lends itself to is the number of products on page 1 that have this specific keyword in full phrase form in the title of its listing. And the reason why that's important is because when you launch a product on Amazon immediately does not know like what you are, right? It's using its algorithm, its AI to figure out how relevant you are. So when it's trying to figure out that process, it's going to use the initial content that you provided in order to give it an idea of what kind of keywords should you rank for. It is known through case studies and through testing through Bradley Sutton, which is our chief brand evangelist and director of training here at Helium 10, that the largest organic signal that you can send to Amazon to say, hey, this is the keyword we want to rank for. This is the keyword that we're relevant for. It's putting it in full phrase form within your product title. And that's the biggest way to get yourself quickly indexed for, to get yourself quickly ranked for. And we've known through repeated testing that the lower the title density is for that specific keyword, the higher the likelihood, or the less difficult it is. It's never easy, but if we can make it easier for ourselves, we're always going to take that the lower the title density is for a specific keyword, the less difficult it is to rank on page 1 for that specific keyword when you're using classic tactics such as incorporating it into your title, you're incorporating it into your graphics or your content. You are driving PPC through it, through either using Atomic or just on your own through Campaign Manager, doing all sorts of things in order to drive traffic to those specific keywords is going to make it so much easier for you to rank on page 1. And it's going to create kind of a flywheel effect of Amazon understanding, oh, you're getting PPC sales for this keyword. You're gaining impressions. Oh, you're getting organic sales for this keyword. Oh, it's also in your title. Oh, it's also, you also have it in your alt text and your A+ content. Like, you're sending all these signals to Amazon that Amazon's gonna be like, okay, I get it. You're relevant for this keyword. We're gonna put you on page 1 for this keyword. And especially during a product launch when it's the honeymoon phase, that's the best time to do that, because Amazon's gonna be a little bit more generous than they usually would be when placing you in specific spots on Amazon.
Yeah, just in a few words to summarize this point, the last we talked about. So title density is just how many times this keyword showed up in the title in the first page, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
And so let's say we're diving into this niche of stroller bag for airplane, but we only have 4 of these. We only have 4 keywords here. So what would be the next step that I would take? I would use this specific keyword, stroller bag for airplane, since that has the highest search volume and the highest keyword sales on this page. That I'm going to go ahead and go into Magnet and see what are some other keywords that I can find that are going to be relevant to this one that I can really use to bolster and build out my listing here.
So first we used the black box to narrow the ideas. And then we went to Cerebro to find keywords. And next we are going to use Magnet, right?
Yes. So like you said, we use black box to find the opportunity to products, just to get an idea of where can we start. We found some products that we thought were interesting, but then when we use Cerebro, we're going to dive into the keywords to try to see where are some specific opportunities where we can differentiate our product and stand out and go even more and be even more narrow and focused with it. Here we found that not only focusing on the stroller bag for travel, but more specifically for airfare, for airplanes, in that specific mode of travel. So that's, now we're going to go to Magnet, like you said, and we're going to go ahead and find other keywords that relate to that. We're going to enter in stroller bag for airplane. We're going to click on Get Keywords. It'll fetch this data for us, and it's going to give us a whole bunch of data here, right? But what I'm looking for specifically is I want to look at phrases that contain some of the common phrases that we saw here. So it was airplane with the space. I think we had gate, so gate check. Let's see our airport. That's why I like using the word frequency here, because it gives you an idea of what kind of keywords you could use. So we're going to use airport. Okay, I think this should be that should cover us pretty well. We're going to do we're going to apply these filters. We got 830 keywords here. So now I'm going to look at those that have the highest search volume. That seem to make sense for us. We're going to do search volume 300. I want to look at title density that has at least a max of 10, meaning that only the top third have this keyword in this title, meaning that I would be comfortable being in the middle of page 1, or at least at the bottom of page 1, because as long as I'm on page 1, I feel good about it. But top third, I would apply this filter towards. We get down to 93 keywords. And so now we can take the time to kind of dive into these keywords. And we already found like our top 4 keywords that are more specific to our product in terms of stroller bag, and commonly like 60 to 80% of your sales are going to come from your top 3 to 5 keywords. We know that. So we already found our top 4, but now we're trying to fill the other 20 to 40% of our content and our sales with these additional keywords that we can look at and integrate into our content here. So that's what I really like, and automatically look at what else we found with this keyword. Because stroller bag for airplane, that was the main one that we found, right? That was the main one that we started this search with. We found one that was even better than that. Car seat travel bag for airplane. It has 8,500 search volume, only 95 sponsored ASINs, meaning that if you're going to advertise for this, you're going to show up for sure, because at the max there's around 96 paid positionings on Amazon. So you're automatically showing that you're going to get impressions for this right off the bat. Our competing products, 117, which is only 4 less than the 6,700, but almost has 2,000 more search volume. Title density, even lower than this keyword of 4 versus 6. And again, we would not have found this keyword if we didn't do this magnet search. And so it's finding keyword opportunities like that are long tail keywords. Car seat travel bag for airplane. That's such a specific keyword that you know automatically that that's somebody who's going on an airplane trip soon. That's somebody who needs something. It's not like, oh yeah, this is interesting, I think I want it or not. No, they need it. They're looking to fulfill a need, and the buyer intent is there. And they're looking for something that is compliant, fashionable, but also makes sense for the size of going into an airplane and making sure that it can fit within a car seat.
So it's simple, a very targeted keyword that brings also 852 sales, which is amazing. It's even better than the main keyword we found before.
Yeah, exactly. But we would have never found that if we just stopped at Cerebro. We just stopped there and said, all right, we found our 4 keywords. Let's just leave it at that. We would have never found that keyword, right? And so that's the brilliance of kind of going through this process of going from black box to Cerebro to magnet. And here we kind of found a hidden product opportunity within the stroller travel bag, right? We can see that clearly people who are doing the stroller travel bags, they're more concerned about general travel of road trips, driving, trains, whatever it is. They're more concerned about general travel. But if we can be the number 1 or even number 1, 2, 3 sales leader for specifically airplane oriented travel bags, clearly they aren't focused on it, because there's only 117 competing products for this keyword versus a general stroller bag we saw was over 1,000. It's all about working smarter, not harder. And this is clearly a keyword that lends itself to that phrase.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. This I consider golden keyword, to be honest.
Absolutely. So that's kind of how, breaking it down, we go through this whole process, right? Of finding, I guess, not necessarily hidden products, but being more willing with ourselves to be creative and be subjective with the keywords and trying to find more specific keywords, because sometimes having a narrower focus can be really helpful for us, because it helps improve the buyer's intent when they're searching for our keywords instead of just searching generally for stroller bag. And it also allows us to find more specific opportunity and long tail keywords that we know, unless our competitors are as smart as you and your audience, they're not going to be able to find keywords like car seat travel bag for airplane, because clearly only 117 other people have found it on Amazon versus the other 30,000, 20,000, 10,000 that are just focused on a baby bag that's helpful for travel. That's too broad, but we can always dive deep into opportunity, even within on the surface, saturated market. There's always some sub niches or hyper niches that we can get really focused and still capitalize on opportunity.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. To be honest, this is enlightening even for me, who I consider myself have some experience in selling on Amazon. So thank you so much for that. I'm sure my audience would love this, to be honest. Thank you so much. Just let me summarize what we did in Arabic in like 30 seconds, and then we can move on. Or I think we are done, right? Or
yes, yeah, we pretty much went over it. Unless you have any additional questions you want to go over.
Let me just put one sentence in Arabic, and then we can go. I might have some question for you.
Okay, no problem.
هلا احنا اللي عملناه بلشنا في البلاك بوكس، اخذنا فكره عامه عن المنتجات. راح احكي لكم عن الفلاتر اللي استخدمناها. بعدين من البلاك بوكس رحنا على السريبرو عشان نعمل ريفرس انجينيرنج، عشان نعمل يعني نشوف شو الكي ووردز اللي عم بتجيب ترافيك او تجيب حركه للمنتجات هاي اللي احنا اخذنا فكره عنها عن طريق البلاك بوكس. بعدين رحنا على الماجنت عشان نعرف كلمات مفتاحيه نقدر نسميها مخفيه اكثر، يعني ما حد بيستخدمها، ولقينا كلمه مفتاحيه مخفيه اللي هلا راح احكي لكم عنها في فيديو تفصيلي لهذا الفيديو ان شاء الله. يعطيكم العافيه. Okay, I have said the words I wanted to say.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so just one last final question. I remember that you have listing optimizing, something about listing optimizer or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just if you can just tell us this is it, and I don't want to take more of your time, because I think this will help, especially those of us who does not use English as our main language. So we would like to see this tool. Just tell me like this tool, we use it this way, and that's it.
For sure. So let me go ahead. I'm just going to look at some of the keywords that I think are helpful for here, because like, of course you would like dive deeper, but just for the sake of the example, I'm just kind of picking generally some keywords here. So we're going to go ahead and pick these keywords. Okay, let's pick two more. We're going to get at least 10 to 15 keywords. Okay. All right, so we're going to add it to a list. So we're going to go ahead and initially we're just going to create a list here. Do airplane bag. I'm going to click on save. I'm going to search for the folder airplane. I just saved it, my keywords to that list. Let's just confirm that I did that. Okay, 13 keywords. So now we're going to go into our listing builder here. And so this is the main key or main process of how we would go about. And this is where I think listing builder really helps with this process of building a listing. So we're going to go ahead and click on add a listing. And it's, if you're familiar with Scribbles just kind of helps you like figure out where to put the keywords and optimize, but this is a lot more intuitive. So we're going to create one from scratch. We're going to click on start building. We are going to look for our airplane bag keyword right here. Oops. We're going to click on add to bank. We have our keywords here. And so now we're going to click on next. And automatically you see that it breaks it up kind of like Frankenstein would, where you can break it up through individual words as well as phrases here.
Yeah.
What I like about it is that it's going to suggest some keywords for you to put into your title and your bullet points. And what I like also, which is something that Scribbles doesn't do, is that it shows you tips, right? Like, hey, keep in mind the title is the most important part of your listing. Avoid using all caps, limit to 500 characters, or if you're going to go below that, avoid these common phrases. It has tips for bullet points. I really enjoy this process. And the most of it all, I enjoy that, you know, when you put a listing on Amazon, it gives you a listing evaluation score. So you can get your score before you even go ahead and type up your listing by looking at your listing analysis of how you're doing. If you're following the best practices of making sure it doesn't have any emojis, title is above 150 characters, you have over 1,000 characters in your product description, you get a score and generated search volume based off the keywords that you've integrated. Meaning that have you maximized the SEO strength of your listing, which I think is also a really awesome tool.
This is so super great, to be honest. And this not only Amazon sellers can use it, even those who provide services on Fiverr and something like that.
Yes.
They can also use this tool to get some money from here and there. Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and the information you're giving us today. So thank you so much. I'm sure my audience will love all what we shared today. That's it from my side. I can't stop thanking you, to be honest. Personally, I have like, I think I'm gonna find new products in a new way now.
Yeah.
And get more sales from Amazon. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I think if your audience or you definitely feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always very active on there, and to be sure to check us out there, and as well to engage with our Helium 10 content. We have so much content out there on YouTube and our podcast. And yeah, feel free to reach out if you ever need any assistance, but happy to help you. Again, my name is Lem Turner. I'm brand evangelist here at Helium 10, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Same here. Okay, till next time. Lem,
all right.
See you, and thank you so much.
All right, adios.
Bye-bye.